Today on Smackie's Garage, we're going to be working through a mess of wiring. We're going to try to get this car ready to start. You can see that the wiring is in a complete state of disaster. I need to find some way to fix it, or I need to make the commitment to purchase a wiring harness for an LS1. Right now, I'm still down the path of I want to try to fix this and get this working and see if I can get essentially spark and make sure the fuel pump is working. If I can't get there, I'll probably have to buy a wiring harness. One of the biggest things with LS motors is you need to make sure that the grounds are right and the grounds are all connected. As I'm going through this, I'm starting to find more and more grounds that are disconnected, some wires that are cut. So I'm going to fix this harness up and get some ground set up so that we can see where we're at. We're also going to try to get the OBD2 sensor working so that we can see if the computer's actually doing anything. Now on this engine, it's drive-by-wire, not cable. So you're going to have an electric throttle body. We have to get that working. You can see the grounds aren't in the best condition right now. Yeah, so that needs to get fixed. There are wires coming out of the fuse box still that are a mess. The main computer wiring is a complete disaster. They're all hooked up to the right places, but it's essentially like a rat's nest. And I'm not able to get spark with where I'm sitting right now. But one of the things I'm noticing is there's a lot of wires that are just not connected that probably should be connected. That's actually a PCM ground that should be connected that isn't. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to try to work on cleaning some of this up and making it look a lot better than it does. So to do this, I'm going to end up pretty much, first I'm going to fix the grounds, then I'm going to get the fuse box back in place, and then we'll start kind of working on the computer. Okay, so I got those grounds in and they're in place. So far, so good. This isn't the ideal way to do a ground, but just checking something out right now. I took the computer connectors out and I checked the grounds to make sure everything is grounded correctly. I also checked to make sure that the power wires were there. So the orange ones are 12 volts always. There's a pink wire that's 12 volts switched, and that comes from the ignition. All right, so I've been working at the wiring for the past few days. And I'm starting to get frustrated that I cannot figure out what's actually causing the fuel pump not to go on. I'm also not getting any spark to the injectors. Essentially, something's going on with the PCM where it's not sending a signal when it's supposed to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put an OBD2 port on it, because if you're doing an LS swap, you can put on the OBD port and use it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. All right, with the OBD2 port placed there, you can see it on top of the computer, so I can easily just plug it in now. Now I placed the OBD2 port right here on top of the computer. So now all I have to do is, essentially if I'm working on the car and the body's on it, just reach over the top with the chassis open and then plug in. So now that I'm plugged in, you can see it's turning on and we can read some codes. Now with that on, waiting for vehicle to respond. I'm on vehicle. Oh, there we go. All right. Erase. Read codes. So P0107 map sensor circuit low. P0452 evap emission system pressure sensor switch low. I'll have to look at both of those. Now I'm pretty sure that both of those sensors, neither one's really causing the issue for the car not turning on or the ignition not firing. It's some sort of ground or wiring issue somewhere, and I'm still searching for it. But I do have some good news, and I'll show you right here. So now if we go ahead and we watch that throttle body, when I push on the gas, it should open. I'm seeing voltage at the coils, I'm seeing voltage at the injectors. When I put a timing light on it and look at one of the spark plug wires, I'm not seeing spark there either. So I'm going to continue on through this tomorrow, and hopefully I can find something wrong with it, something in the wiring that tells me what is happening, or another broken ground. But if I can't do that, I'm going to end up buying a LS swap harness rather than this one that's been custom made. Overall, it's probably a better idea to get a swap harness because they're going to be better labeled. It'll have better covering than what's on here now, but they're expensive. You're talking about $500+. So let's see where we go from here. Thanks for tuning on Smacky's Garage. Made some progress this week. Hopefully more tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.